Alrighty, folks, here we are back once again now for part 2, talking about fan casting the DCU. Of course, if you haven't seen part 1 already, then please go check that out. I just posted it yesterday, so, it's right there. Where obviously, we already have our Superman, but who would I like to see as our Batman, our Wonder Woman, our Flash, our Booster Gold, even though that's probably already set in stone, unfortunately. But anyway, here we are with part 2. Part 1, of course, was about more so the big heavy hitters, main core members of the Justice League. Here we're talking about some smaller members of the Justice League, maybe some Justice League Dark and Teen Titans as well. And of course, as always, let me know in the comments below your own fan cast for these characters and other characters you'd like to see in the DCU also. So let's jump into it with an actor that for a while was fan cast as Superman and was actually in the running against David Corenswet. Of course, David Corenswet ended up getting the role. But Wolfgang Novogratz, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he's got the superhero look, and he definitely looked like Superman, which therefore I think also kind of classifies him as possibly being a good Shazam. I think he'd be pretty good in the role, especially there's no way Zachary Levi's coming back. He has absolutely tanked his career. My God, Harold and the Purple Crayon, what a disaster that was. But here we are now. Shazam is a great character. I loved both of those Shazam movies, especially the first one. Zachary Levi was the weakest part of those movies. So get another good actor in here and bring me some more Shazam. Again, it won't happen for a while because you got to forget the more recent version of that character, but I'm looking forward to more Shazam at some point in the future. Maybe, possibly one that could actually fight Black Adam this time. We'll see. Didn't want to even bother fan casting Black Adam because that's a whole other thing. Now, Palm Clementieff, obviously played Mantis in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, very close with James Gunn. It's been said that James Gunn has a very specific role in mind for her in the DCU. And this one here isn't really a fan cast, it's really more like this is an actual rumor, that she is going to play the Huntress. They're going to do a Korean Huntress film, like all in the Korean language. So that's interesting. Yeah, sure, cool. I'm okay with that. Static Shock. Static's a great character, and we've been waiting for the longest time to get a Static Shock movie. So many times it's been in development and just has gone absolutely nowhere. There's obviously a lot of great actors that could play the role. But personally, I think Caleb McLaughlin would be my personal choice for the role. There's like a very select few actors, young black actors like Caleb McLaughlin, that people always go back and forth on fan casting them for Static Shock or Miles Morales. And I mean, Caleb McLaughlin, he'd be a great Miles Morales as well, but I do think I would prefer him as Static. So that's my personal choice. And who knows if we'll actually get this character anytime soon, but fingers crossed. Now, Swamp Thing we know is coming. There's a Swamp Thing movie in development, and Swamp Thing is a character that I didn't really know where to go with this. So this is another one that's not really a fan cast, but Vincent D'Onofrio, who of course plays Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin over in the MCU, he has actually shown interest and said that he would love to play Swamp Thing in this DCU movie. So I say give it to him. He's a great actor. I'd love to see it. Now, speaking of the Justice League Dark characters, though, John Constantine, please just bring back Matt Ryan. He is literal perfection in the role. Don't mess with this. He's just so good as the character. He's already played the character in multiple versions, both in live action, in animated form. He's great as John Constantine. I mean, he may not be a big movie star actor. He may be more considered a TV actor, but he's just too good as John Constantine. You need to bring him back, especially if we're going for older-ish actors for some of these roles. He's in his 40s. He'd work. Zatana. It's got to be Alexander Daddario. I've seen a lot of people in recent days fan casting Jenna Ortega, which, I mean, yeah, Jenna Ortega, she's good. She's great. But I don't think she's old enough to be Zatana. Like, I want Zatanna to look young, but I don't want her to be like Jenna Ortega high school looking young. So Zatanna. Now, Aaron Taylor Johnson as Hawkman is a fan cast I saw that I really, really love. Hawkman obviously is a character that, he can be cast any race. Aldous Hodge was a great Hawkman in Black Adam. Wish we could see more of him. But yeah, I just feel like Aaron Taylor Johnson, he's got the look down. He could pull off the shirtless abs are out Hawkman for sure. And yeah. Now for Cyborg is an interesting one because they could go for the older version that's a member of the Justice League, or they could go for a younger version that is a member of the Teen Titans. So I have two different options here. We have Jesse T. Usher, who of course plays A-Train on The Boys. I think he would be great for that older but obviously still young-ish. I don't know how old he is, maybe in his 30s. For that type of Cyborg, I think would be pretty cool. I think that would be great. But I do think I would possibly prefer to have Cyborg as a member of the Teen Titans. And Chosen Jacobs, I think, would be a great choice for that role. Now, Nightwing, I did a video a couple months ago about Asher Angel teasing Nightwing. And that has gone nowhere. We don't know if he's actually been cast or anything, but I would love that because he was one of the highlights of the Shazam movies. And I think he deserves a second shot in the DC universe. And I feel like he's around the right age. He's got the look. He, I think, would be a great Dick Grayson Nightwing in the DCU. So that is my personal fan cast. There's some other options and ideas out there. But I feel like Asher Angel is just the right age because I still see some people fan casting like Dylan O'Brien or Zac Efron. And like they would have been great like 10 years ago, but I feel like they're just too old now. Now, following up with the Bat family, we have Tanner Buchanan as Jason Todd, aka the Red Hood. Now, Tanner Buchanan, of course, you probably recognize him from Cobra Kai. Love that show. He's shown a lot of interest in playing Robin just in general, and so specifically when Brave and the Bold was announced, he was really interested in that. So he's really shown interest in Robin specifically. And, I mean, he would be a good Robin, I think. But where we're coming at it with Batman and the DCU, we already have a fully fledged, or at least mostly fully fledged Bat family. And so with Damian being the main Robin and Dick Grayson as Nightwing, I feel like Jason Todd would be Red Hood at this point. And I think Tanner Buchanan, like, I could see him as a Robin, but I see him much more as Red Hood. I feel like he could really embody that character quite well. Now, kind of going back to the Teen Titans and Jenna Ortega again, she would be a good Zatana, but again, I don't think she's old enough, but I think she would be a fantastic Raven. And this is a very cliche one, like everybody's fan casting her. She's very much typecast. I mean, going from Wednesday to Beetlejuice 2 to Raven, she's always the dark, emo, gothic characters, but she does it good. She would be great. Yeah, I really don't have a whole lot else to say with this one. It would be nice casting. Now, I talked about in my last video, The Flash, and whether they'll do Barry Allen or Wally West. Now, if they end up making Barry Allen our main DCU Flash, then I do want to have Wally West as our Kid Flash, and I think Jacob Bertrand would be a great Kid Flash for the DCU. Now, as for Starfire, I have a couple options here. One that we've talked about before is Halle Bailey, who of course played Ariel in the recent live-action Little Mermaid movie. She was fantastic in that. And she just has, like, the perfect look for Starfire. Please, for the love of God, make her orange this time. Please. Same thing goes for Beast Boy. He's got to be green. I hate that they did that with the Titans show. Yeah, I think Halle Bailey would be great. Maybe a little... I don't know. The aging with the Teen Titans is weird because it's like you want them to be old enough, but you don't want them to be too old. It's weird. Paris Burleck, though, I also think would be a great Starfire for the DCU. Another Disney Channel star back in the day. but she's a great actress. And also referencing back to Beast Boy, Beast Boy is my favorite character in the Teen Titans, but I do not have a fan cast for him. So yeah, there's that. Sadie Sink I think would make a great Batgirl. It does also depend on like what age you want to go for that character. Would you want her to be around the same age as Dick Grayson Nightwing? I think probably, so this would fit with my Asher Angel fan casting. If they want to go older, bring back Leslie Grace, because her Batgirl movie was canceled and she deserves way better. Alan Richardson, obviously he's shown interest in Batman and a lot of people have fan cast him as Batman. I wouldn't hate the choice, but I definitely don't really see him as Batman. Really more so particularly as Bruce Wayne, but he would be an absolutely perfect Captain Atom. And Captain Atom is just a character in general that I would really love to see done in live action. I think Alan Richardson has the perfect body and physique for this character. I mean, look at this right here. This fan art is great. Absolutely fantastic. The Question. The Question is a character we've talked about a little bit that James Gunn may have possibly teased, and there's been rumors a Question series is in development for Max. I put Nicolas Cage here just because I honestly couldn't think of anyone else, and this is a very much, this is one of the last ideas I had that I wanted to put into this video, really mainly just so I could have the Question in this video. I do not at all think that Nicolas Cage would play this role, but I mainly just put him in here because the Question, kind of how I picture him and imagine him, is very similar to Nicolas Cage's portrayal of Spider-Man Noir in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And of course, now he's playing that character in live action for this live action series on Prime Video. But somebody like Nicolas Cage, I want that type of vibe for the Question. Now, Dave Bautista, he's for the longest time wanted to play Bane. He's kind of moved on from that now. He's dropping down in size. He's losing weight, getting healthier, all that stuff. I would love to see him as Wildcat. He obviously would have to be more bulked up for that. But another great option, which I also really love for Wildcat, is Sylvester Stallone. Because, I mean, you know, Rocky, Wildcat, he's a professional boxer. You get the connection. That would be great. Obviously, we already kind of have Sylvester Stallone as King Shark from the Suicide Squad. Who knows if that character will continue into the DCU? We'll see. But that would definitely be a lot of fun. Wildcat is also just a great character I really want to see. Speaking of great characters, Red Tornado, people. I need to see Red Tornado in live action. What they did to him on the CW was just a disgrace to that character. I was really disappointed that. And there's different ways they could go about doing this character. They could take the Vision approach, where Paul Bettany is in makeup and prosthetics, for which I think Rami Malek would be a great choice and a great idea for that role. If not, if they want to do just CGI Red Tornado, then I think somebody like Ross Marquand would be great, because a similar voice to what he does for Ultron in Marvel's What If, I think would be really fantastic, because, you know, you want that that robotic voice. Firestorm, this was also kind of just a last minute one. Firestorm is just a character I really want to see in the DCU, and so I literally just Googled DCU Firestorm fan casting, and Jeremy Allen White came up, and I was like, I love Jeremy Allen White. I'd love to see him in a superhero role, and I think Firestorm would be great. That'd be fantastic. Again, like I said, I just want to see the character. So yeah, basically that is part 2 of my fan casting for the DCU, and that's going to wrap it up for Heroes in this fan casting journey. Like I said in part 1, we do have a part 3 planned as well, and that is going to be focusing on the villains of the DCU. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and thanks so much for watching. Please drop if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so keep up to date on everything that goes on in the DC life.